Grateful the vibe is contagious. Look in your eyes, it's dangerous. Grateful I had all the patience. I know you going through some changes. You taking pictures, know your angles. Ooh, no.
Hi y'all, welcome back to Sewing with Ace, or what's the name of this account now? Or Ace? Or Ace-Anna? I think it's Ace-Anna now. I bet I don't have to change this in my life. We're gonna be making joggers. We're gonna be making sweatpants, something simple and easy. I wear sweatpants on a day-to-day basis as part of my attire. So I like to make these because I'm always wearing them. I'm a homeless bum for the most part. It's either like you get bum or you get Beyonce. Just choose your struggle. Love me or not at all, okay? So you're going to need a pair of your favorite sweatpants, ones that, you know, fit the best. You're gonna need elastic for the waistband, and I'll actually be putting elastic at the bottom too. You're going to need sewing pins, that's important. Scissors to cut out the pants. And I have a pants pocket that I'm going to be using because it's just easier for me this way. The pattern is Simplicity 2057, but you can also like draw one out. Like you could get a glimpse of what that looks like and just draw it out. I just like saving time. So let's get started. So we're gonna start out with the pants pocket. And we're going to cut 4 of these. So I really should have this with right sides facing together, but just the way that the fabric was on the roll, I don't feel like doing all the extra. So I'm gonna just cut it out, and then I'm gonna face them together myself. But yeah, we're gonna cut out 4 of the pockets. So you're gonna double your fabric and really cut it out twice. And let me know in the comments, like when I'm explaining stuff, that I'm explaining it right. I'm explaining it more so like for you to understand, because I know people that do things and they do it often. My package just came. Yes, honey. But I know people like when they do stuff and they do it often, they lose the ability to explain because they just know how to do it, so they don't really know how to really explain how to do certain stuff. And I don't want to be that person. The whole point of this is that you
Ain't nothing to it. Real one. Ain't nothing to it. Boss.
So I'm just going to speed through this process. So as you're cutting out the pocket, make sure that your scissors stay flat onto the table or whatever you're cutting on, and make sure that you are not lifting your fabric with your other hand. You can use your other hand to help guide you, but do not lift your fabric. It'll alter the way the pattern is cut out. So what I'm doing right now is just cutting it out again. Like I said in the beginning, I would be cutting it twice. So I'm just taking what I just cut and using that as a pattern to cut out the next pocket. And again, keep your scissors steady. Don't lift your fabric. I didn't put as many pins in it this time because most of the density comes from the pocket anyway, so it'll be easier. And I'm just cutting away the excess and throwing it out.
We're gonna put our pockets to the side and then move on to the next step. So this table kind of little, but we're gonna work it out. And I'm gonna put the pants inside out so I can see that seam line and really get a precise cut. So the back of the pant is always has a deeper crotch, and the panel itself is just bigger because, you know, your butt and all that stuff. So the crotch is deeper so it could come around the butt, right? But we really ain't gonna worry too much about that. You know what? For the sake of the video and for educational reasons, we are gonna worry about it. So we're gonna make this straight as possible. We're gonna hide, we're gonna tuck that in. So see, this is tucked out. That back crotch is coming out. I really hope you can see this. That seam line that's right here. You see that seam line that's right there? We're just gonna tuck that in. So this would be considered the front side. We're gonna tuck these pockets. This would be considered the front side. All right, so these are your front panels. Pull the pants down slightly, just a little bit, because we wanna have enough to cut around it. Okay, so you have the seam line right here, or where the elastic is, just for layman's terms. This is where the elastic is. And all of this is folded and they sewed it down, right? So imagine if it was unfolded. So that's what we're going to be cutting if it was unfolded. So we're going to be cutting, let's say, let's go 2 inches above this, right? So when we go and do the finishes and everything, when we fold it down, it'll be exactly where this is. I'm not really going to pin this down because the material is hefty, and the way it is, it's not really shifting anyway, so I ain't even going to worry about that. Where I am going to pin it down is right here, because when I move this fabric up, I don't want it to shift. So we're going to put that fold line right on the fold line, right there. Line it up. It says this is on a fold line, but they have a pocket. For educational purposes and DIY purposes, it'll be easier for me to show you in a way that is easier. So the way I'm going to cut it is I'm going to have an open seam and we're going to sew it down. Okay, so we're not going to put it on the fold, and you'll understand that for when I go to put the pocket in, why it makes it a lot easier. You just sew it all at one time. Put the pin right there. And let's cut. So we're gonna come about 2 inches up. Gonna go straight down. We're gonna be, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna just sew it, because a lot of people don't have surgery, so I am going to go ahead and sew it, but we're not gonna have like a whole bunch of seam allowance, so I'm really just gonna cut like where this is. Plus these pants is kind of big on me, but if you're getting sweatpants that are perfectly fitted on you, then you would come out about a 1/2 inch and make a line, cut a 1/2 inch around the whole thing. But because this is already big, I'm not gonna do that. I'm coming about 1/4 of an inch around the whole thing. Cut this part. And that's why I put the pin here, so when I move it up, the fabric it doesn't shift. Okay. And for this part, make sure the line is straight. For this part, we're gonna come down. Trying to figure out, do I want to put elastic down here or do I want to put a rib knit down there? I'm gonna just go elastic because I don't feel like looking for another material. So we're gonna cut down. Make them just slightly longer. Just very, very little bit because these are already long, like I said before. And then make your way back up. So that's your first side. This is the front. The front side. So we could just go ahead right now and put these. Remember I told you in the beginning, I didn't put the way the roll is made. It had the wrong sides together, but of course you're not gonna sew it like that. So I'm gonna just go ahead now and put it right sides together. So we could get this sewing process started faster. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this exact same piece and I'm gonna slap it on here. I'm gonna just over here so I can see everything. I'm gonna use this piece to cut out the next piece. So remember when I said that the back is typically, the crotch is lower to give space for your butt, and it comes out wider to give space for your butt. So what we're gonna do is let's get some chalk and make it easy. Okay, so I'm gonna put a line there. I'm gonna come out that far, and then let's just start drawing. But it needs to come about, let's say like a 1/2 inch lower. You want it to come about a 1/2 inch lower. And you could really just kind of guesstimate it, to be honest. Because once you put it all together, I promise, with stretchy material like this, it really, you could play with it. Even your mistakes ain't really mistakes. So that's how we're gonna make that. It's a little lower and a little wider. This stays the same. This stays the same, but then when you start getting to the crotch area, you just come a little lower and then wider, okay? And then we're just gonna cut down from here. Cut down from there. Again, I'm gonna put a pin right here so when I pull the material up, it don't shift. And if you have a really big butt, what you need to do is, this would be the back side, right? So this is the seam line for your back. You would make this piece right here, when you're cutting out this side, you would make that the same. As you start cutting up, you want to bring this up just slightly. You see what I'm saying? So it makes the butt a lot longer. For the people that are, you know, well endowed, you want to make this as long as you can. So if you need to make it a little deeper, you could do that. If you need to make it a little higher, you could do that. So it's really able to get around it. I'll move that out the way. Clip that out. Up. So I'm making the inner leg just a little wider so it doesn't snug. And then I'll show you that when I'll put the pants together, what I mean by that. So you make the inner leg just slightly wider, but you want to keep this the same.
Open up, shut it down like a Macintosh. Open up, open here. Cold as ice and Coca-Cola.
Now we have the front and the back. We're going to take it right sides facing each other. So now we're gonna go and pin all down here. I like to do majority of my pinning in the beginning so I could just I don't have to be going back and forth. I don't like going back and forth from the machine and pinning and cutting and It's annoying and it wastes a lot of time. Now, the way you want to stitch your pocket, let me show you this way. The way you want to stitch your pocket, you want the deep end to be facing the ground, right? Because you got to put your hand in there. So you want to have right sides facing each other, okay? And then you get it, like, you know, see, when you fold it in, it's the inside of your pants. Blase, blase. Okay, let's go ahead and get measuring tape. See how far I want to take this down. Excuse me. It's about 2 1/4. Okay, it's about 2 1/4. So put a pin, 2 1/4. And from there, we're gonna pin the pocket down. Phew. Just go about like a 1/4 inch under where you pin 2 1/4 just to give it some space. Okay. Put this in. Line it up. Pin it. About a 1/4 inch under the pin. And go ahead and pin it. There we go, there we go. And you're gonna do the same thing with the other side. Okay, I made a new outfit because it's a new day. I didn't finish the video yesterday. So I have the Brother Machine CE8100. Instead of 2.5 for the thread spacing, I always do 3.5. 2.5 is kind of close. Like, it's really back to back to back. And it takes too long for me to sew that way. I like for it to run a little smoother. So everything's cut out, everything's pinned, and I just gotta put it together. My snippers, these always come in handy. Got my pin magnet. So I'm gonna take one's pant. Let's see. This is the front side. We're gonna take the front side. So much dust. Okay. So I'm gonna sew the crotch together. Actually, I'm gonna go up to 4 because this material is a little thick. The stitches don't need to be so close. Here we go. So the crotch is done. Now we're gonna sew the pockets down. And that's what you have. So we're gonna sew the crotch to the back side now. This is the back pants crotch. We're gonna sew that down. Always remember to do your back stitch, secure your stitch. Sewing the pockets on. Okay, now you're gonna go ahead. That's so much fabric everywhere. Okay, now you're gonna go ahead and top stitch. So your seam line, you want to be facing your pocket. So you want to do a stitch right here. So we're gonna turn it around. I'm gonna do this stitch on the top side. So I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna make sure that my seam is facing my pocket, slanted towards my pocket, and then I'm gonna go ahead and stitch. And that's what your top stitch is gonna look like. And that just ensures that it stays on the inside when you go and put the pants together. All right, now we're going to pin this together. And we're gonna stitch down the side. So pin the sides together. Pin your pocket. Pin everything together. Make sure your pockets are aligned. So you want the seam line of each of your pocket, you want that to be aligned, okay? Pin the side. Everything is pinned. Oh, let me show you on this side. There's the pin side. Everything is pinned together. So now we're just going to stitch all around. Stitch all around. So we're gonna stitch right here and we're gonna stop an inch under where this pocket starts. So we're gonna start from here, stitch, 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 and then stop right here, back stitch, okay? We're not gonna sew on the seam. We're gonna sew behind it, right? Or next to it, right next to it, okay? And then stop. Take your pins out. And then we're gonna come here to the bottom. And we're gonna start an inch above and then make our way down. We'll go ahead and take the pins out. And now we're going to stitch all around here. We're not going to start under here. We're going to start right here. Not to go past the line that we already stitched. So just start right there. And then we're going to sew all the way around. I hate that my nails are looking like this on my camera. And we're just going to stitch all the way around. And right here, back stitch, take the pins out. And now we're going to sew the crotch together. We're almost done. We're gonna take the crotch. Okay, we're gonna line up the crotches. You can open your seams if you want. You could go ahead and open them, iron them down, or you could just lay them to the side and sew them like this. It's really up to you. When it comes to this type of fabric, it really does not matter. Other fabrics that I'll show you as we get more advanced, I will show you why it is important to do that. All the way down. Make sure you pin. You want to pin the crotch together, right? And then you want to pin the bottoms together. This is important because if you pin the crotch together and just come down, guaranteed it'll be like this, and you're gonna try to figure out like why it just shifts that way sometimes. So pin that together first and then work your way in between. Now everything's pinned. We are going to start from the bottom and just stitch all the way around to the other side of the other leg. So we have everything sewn together. Now it's time for the elastics. So we're going to put elastic at the top and we're going to put elastic at the bottom. So we're going to take this and we're going to fold it down to where we started our pocket. Remember which side is your front side and your back side, okay? Remember your back side is gonna have a deeper crotch. crotch is gonna come out longer. So you want the pocket to face the front. Remember, you when your hands go in your pocket, they go like this. So you want the pocket to lean towards the front side. Then go ahead and pin it down. If you have a serger and you want to go ahead and serge all of these little frays, you could do that. And make sure as you're sewing, you're relaxing your shoulders. A lot of times I'm like this when I'm sewing. Relax your shoulders. These are probably up right now. Put them back down. Everything is pinned. Everything is pinned. My pockets are facing the front. Okay? They're facing this way. And you can even go ahead and pin the pocket a little bit so you just know that it doesn't flap this way. So we're going to start from the back. We're going to do a middle stitch. Okay? So we're not gonna stitch right here. We're going to find that middle and we're gonna stitch in the middle. This is important. We are doing double elastic, so 2-band elastic. So this is why you need to start in the middle. And when we get around to the other side, just leave like a 2-inch space from the first stitch you started to this stitch. So I'm gonna stop like right here. I'm just gonna back stitch that. I'm gonna come up. We can go ahead and take our pins out now. We're gonna put the elastic in. So to measure your elastic for these sweatpants, just measure how tight you want it. So you're gonna put the elastic around your body. Just measure how loose or tight you want it, so where it's comfortable for you. The tighter you have it, the more it'll come up on your body. The looser you have it, obviously, the more it'll drag. So it really just depends on how high-waisted you want this to come up or how baggy you want it to be. I pretty much know my waist, so about here is where it'll be comfortable for me. I'm a little chick, and I'm just gonna cut 2 of these out. So even ones out. While we're at it, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut out the ones from my ankle because they're putting elastic on the ankle as well. So I just use my wrist as a reference point. Come around that. And I maybe go about 1 inch wider because I don't want it to be too clinky. We're gonna go ahead and cut out 4 of these because they're doing 2-band elastic at the bottom as well. So our elastic is already ready. Okay, back to the pants. What we're gonna do to prepare our elastic to be drawn through the hole is we're gonna take a safety pin, come about 1 inch up under there. You don't want to put it too close, it'll rip out. So about 1 inch, put it back through. I suggest that you bite down on this. because it'll come out sometimes, and that it's the worst because you have to start all over again. So we're just gonna come through the hole and bringing it through here. Now, when it gets to a certain point, you're going to want to pin it, and I'll show you. So keep running it through until you get right about here, where it's a good maybe 3 inches out. This is where you want to pin it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin it right here. So while I'm working, it's not just coming through, because if it keeps drawing through, it's just gonna come out the other end and nothing's gonna happen. So you wanna keep coming through, and now you can see the tension. The bigger the safety pin you got, the faster this goes, by the way. So you're gonna keep running this through. And now we're on the other side, almost on the other side. When we get here, you wanna pull it through, you wanna take your elastic, take the safety pin off, line up your elastic, and we're gonna run about 6 stitches back and forth. See? So now we're gonna go ahead and close up that little line. This is why doing the first line is important. Because if we would have started at the bottom, we would have had to go past the first line just to get to the second one. So now we're gonna close that up. And we're gonna stitch down the next one. So we're just gonna come here and stitch all the way around. Remember to leave a couple inches open. Now we're going to draw the next elastic through.
Open up, you OPN. Bitch, you want BBM. We should be closer than friends.
Gonna line these two up together now. This fabric is like flying everywhere. There's so much particles. Here we go. Now we're just gonna close that hole, and we're done with the top. So for the bottom, we're gonna do the exact same method. So we're gonna fold, what's that, about 2 inches. We're gonna fold, and then we're gonna go ahead and pin it. We're gonna stitch the middle, leave a little bit open, pull the elastic band through, stitch the opening. We're going to go ahead and then stitch the last line, pull the elastic through, close the opening, and then we're to finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera. So everything is done. I'm gonna go ahead and iron everything down, press the seams down on the pockets. See, just gonna go ahead and press the seams down on the pocket. Press all of this stuff down, make it nice and flat, and then I'll try it on for you guys so you can see what we created. And they're just perfect for literally just lounging around, going out. They are sweatpants, okay.
Open up, you OPN. Bitch, you want baby, yeah, we should be closer than friends.